Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
Gather round, kids. It's almost time for another episode of the Only in OK show. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley.
And the trip begins yet again. This time we're doing a walking tour downtown Norman. Another, if you're going to put spooky locations somewhere in the top 10, you got to put you got to sneak Norman in there. There is some blood-soaked alleyways. I don't
know if there's a whole lot of blood-soaked alleyways.
You don't know that.
I honestly don't know, but like,
I bet if you took a black light down there in the alleyways of Norman,
I'm sure there's a lot of tales and a lot of history and
blood-soaked alleyways.
I don't think that that's on Visit Norman's website. You know, like,
but I guarantee the unauthorized biography of Norman, written by Jeff Provine, would include some blood-soaked alleyways.
It's possible. But Jeff Provine, great guy, just a font of paranormal knowledge.
Yeah, dude. I've been on one of his, the OU tour, and let me tell you right now, it's creepy.
Yeah, no, he's really good at that stuff, and he's got he probably has 1 million stories.
Oh, 1 million stories.
1 million scary Oklahoma stories.
Of blood-soaked alleyways.
But anyway, Norman Ghost Walks happening this month. Check out the interview with Jeff Provine.
Let's roll. You know, the dead, they never sleep, and I'm not sure this next guest does either. In fact, he's an author, webcomic creator, a blogger, and did we mention a haunted tour guide? Jeff Provine, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I know this isn't paranormal, but maybe kind of. I read that you're a Charlie Chaplin expert. I don't even understand how that happens.
They were looking for topics for courses, and Charlie Chaplin's always been kind of a cool guy in my opinion, so I did a bunch of research and put together the life and films of Charles Chaplin.
Wow, that's
as
fantastic.
A course.
That's fantastic.
So, Jeff, you started the OU Ghost Walk back in 2009, is that right?
That's right.
How did that come about?
So I did a big backpacking trip through England. So I had done study abroad there a few years before, and every little town has its own ghost tour since, they're 1,000 years old and have a lot of dead people to talk about. On one of those ghost tours, I was hanging out with one of my friends on the Isle of Wight and told her the one ghost story I knew about Central Oklahoma, which is the little boy who roller skates around in Ellison Hall at OU's campus. And she said, "Oh, that's great. There should be a campus tour at OU." And I said, "Nah, that's ridiculous. We don't have enough stories." When I came back, though, kind of stuck in my mind and decided, okay, well, maybe I'll look around, see if there's one or two more. And we are jam-packed. So not just at OU, but all over the place. It's uncanny how much has gone on in the last 130 years of settlement here.
Well, I just figured you discovered the ghost walk at OU from walking from the Oval to the to the dorms. It's pretty creepy down there at night. I stay in the well-lit areas, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So it's a lot better than it used to be back in the 90s when they had regular kidnappings.
Wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, for some reason they don't talk about that, but much better now.
Yeah, we talk about football. We don't talk a lot about kidnappings on campus.
Oh, yeah.
No
kidnappings in football.
Was that the reason why they installed the I guess the blue light phones down there? The emergency phones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just have that chance to run and go get some help when you need some help.
So you do a lot of different locations on your ghost walk circuit, I guess. Where all do you cover?
So I still volunteer with the OU Ghost Tour, which is now an official campus tour, and they've got theirs coming up October 18th. So plan on helping out with that. And then I started one for downtown Norman. The Norman Visitors Bureau came on one of our ghost tours at OU for kind of a team building exercise, and they said, "This is great. There should be one for downtown Norman." So there we go. And then after I co-wrote Haunted Oklahoma City with Tony McCoy, one of the paranormal investigators here in Oklahoma, we had all these Oklahoma City stories, so I thought, well, let's do Bricktown and downtown too.
So Norman, I spent about a decade in Norman, and there's a lot of things I didn't. Obviously, you hear about the history, you hear a lot of the haunted history and just the local history. But I've heard a story about a phantom barber recently.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
So the Midway Barbershop downtown, it's been a barbershop for since 1893, so it goes way back. And obviously not the same owners originally, but it's passed hands, so you can still trace it back to the original Davis Brothers Barbershop, was what it was called.
Is it next
and
door?
there were two brothers.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, I was just going to ask, is it next? I'm sorry, I did it again. Is it next door to the diner? Is that where
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, go ahead.
Which the diner started up as a diner. Back then it was a chili diner, which was kind of the brainchild of the older brother, Sherman Davis, and his wife.
Wow.
So they were quite the entrepreneurs back then in 1900.
So when did you decide to set your sights? I mean, OKC, that's a broad brush. There's a lot going on there. When did you decide to kind of head that direction?
It was actually the publisher. I'd done the Norman books and then teamed up with Tanya on the Guthrie book, which all just scratched the surface up there. And they said, hey, when's Oklahoma City going to come out? That's a pretty big market. And we're like, well, I'm sure they've got some ghost stories, so let's start investigating.
Wow.
So you've got a walk coming up on October 11th as well as a book signing. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it'll be second Friday. So everybody will come out for Art Walk and have a good time. And I was graciously invited over there to the Whispering Willows Art Gallery to kind of give a book signing. And then afterward, we're going to go out and take a walk and stop at that barber shop and see if the younger brother, Otho Davis, makes an appearance.
I hope not.
So I feel like this is just the absolute perfect time to go on a ghost walk. Can you kind of walk us through what we would expect? How long of a walk it is, and maybe how many different places we're going to be stopping, that sort of thing. Just to give us an idea.
Yeah, it's about 75 to 90 minutes, kind of depending on how quickly people walk or if people want extra bonus stories and stuff like that. Start off at the train station, walk down to the Sooner Theater. Hike over a couple of blocks to the barbershop, up to the old post office and talk about its secret passage, and then back down to the Clock Plaza there downtown for some haunted restaurant stories.
Well, it looks like every other weekend pretty much through September, the month of October, are pretty much booked solid up until November. So moving forward, do you have any can we expect anything else outside of November or moving into 2020, or typically what's your season like?
Yeah, usually we run kind of March through November, just while the weather's pretty decent. It's not fun to be out on a ghost tour in January or February. But some people have asked it, so depending on personal schedules, people can always ask for private tours. We've got a birthday party coming up later this week. We've done anniversaries and office outings, all kinds of good stuff.
How about a ghost wedding? Do you do those?
I haven't yet, but I can get my certification, all that stuff you need, sure.
Well, I've killed 2 marriages. I don't know if it counts. But no, that's great, Jeff. Sorry it's taking so long to get to you. I mean, right now God, I feel like it's almost too hot for a ghost walk.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely want to do those late night ghost walks in July and August.
So, Jeff, how can people, I know this is kind of, we're in the 21st century here. How can people reach you? And what's the best way to get a hold of you, and how do they get tickets and things like that?
Yeah. So jeffprovine.com's got links to everything. I'm on Twitter at Jeff Provine. Facebook's probably the best way since that's where all the events are organized. It's author Jeff Provine. Just check that out. Go over to the events page, and it's got all the details. And got pre-ticketing for Oklahoma City. It got so wild this summer with so many people showing up that we actually had to go to pre-tickets instead of just take them out.
Well, that sounds like good news rather than bad.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have.
I'll jump in here real quick. Jeff, I've had a lot of people, I told some people I was interviewing you. I know some people that really, really enjoyed your tours. They can't say enough about them. I'm glad you mentioned the OU tour, because somebody asked me recently if I could find out when they were going to do it. We have that October the 18th. How often do the OU, I know with football season, it's kind of on a bi-weekly schedule, depending on what, if it's, because it's so crowded down there.
Sure.
How often do they do the OU tours down there?
They're also March through November.
Okay. They just seem like they're more
March
selected.
through October this year. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. Well, Jeff, we appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you so much. And we definitely want to have you as our spirit guide throughout the season and moving on through 2020. As long as we can not outlive each other, or, you know what I mean.
There you go.
All right.
Like the Harry Potter thing. While one lives, the other can't die, or whatever.
Absolutely.
I never understood it.
Well, or Batman Joker. I can't. What would I do without you? We need you, Jeff.
There you go.
All right,
That's
Jeff.
nice.
Close personal friend of the show. We, like a lot of friends and family, we don't talk all the time, but when we do, it's like we never left. And Jeff Provine is one of those. Okay, maybe I might be overselling it a little bit. But if you're on this walking tour, I guarantee he's going to remember the time when he got his first break on the Only an OK show. And you're going to remind him of that.
Absolutely. When you go on the Norman Ghost Walk and you meet Jeff Provine, just scream out, "Only an OK show!"
That's like the play Freebird. That's like the Freebird of the tourism world.
Absolutely. And he'll respond accordingly.
He'll probably go, "Ka-ka!" I don't know, like we have a secret sound. Anyway, this has been the Only an OK show. I'm Brett.
And I'm Harley, and we're out of here.
Peace. All right. But there's a movie. Like, all right, let's go. Oh, never mind. It's the Big Lebowski when Walter shows up to the bowling alley. He's like, all right.
Are we saving? Did we save it already? Or
Yes, we did. Okay, sorry.
I was just making sure. Like, are we recording a new one now? Is it?
We gave the orders. God. Freaking Gestapo. Did we save it? I'm trying to have fun. There's no fun here. This is not a fun environment. We are trying to tell the... Gather around, kids. It's almost time. Time for the giveaway.
Okay, so you do the intro as the Silver Shamrock guy.
Okay.
Gather around, kids. It's almost time.
Okay.
And I'll find the music. Music bed. Musics?
It's almost time. It's almost time. Gather round, kids. Gather round, kids. Gather round, kids. I sound like the freaking Mad Hatter. Come on, kids. I'm late. I'm hanging around with a girl named Alice. I've got better things to do. You think the Only an OK show is I lie. You barely adopted the podcast. I was molded by it. Let's go!
I'm trying to find one that's just the music. No, it's all fucking Irish shit. Hang on.
Do you look up Silver Shamrock commercial? No narration.
Silver Shamrock commercial. No narration?
Yeah. I mean, it's not yet.
Okay. You ready?
Okay.
There? Can you talk over that in your announcer voice?
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me when, and I'll start it up, and then you start talking whenever you want to.
Okay.
But when you're done, like, stop completely so I can lower the music or lower the sound and not just stop it abruptly.
Gotcha.
3, 2, 1.
Gather round, kids. I can't know if I can do it like him. Gather round. It's almost time. Okay. I mean, it's not going to be exactly like
no,
that. Okay.
It doesn't have to be.
Okay, go ahead. It's almost time.